And welcome back to another episode of the Geekday Podcast. We turn your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your hosts, Rob, and with me today, as per usual, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Alex Moon.
That's me. I'm a myth.
That's you.
I don't exist.
You're legendary.
I'm a myth. I'm a collective hallucination that everyone's having at the same time.
I love that. Like, I was like, "Hey, man, you ready?" And you're like, "Yeah, man, I'm just reading real quick." And I was like, 3,
I was
2.
not ready. No, I was not ready at all because I went up and I was like, I don't have anything set up on my tablet right now. Actually,
I did the Freddie Benson thing. Even I was like 5, 4, 3, 2, and I look up, switch over to the scene, and just like, whoa! I'm like, I remember the first time we did the Geekday Podcast. We did like an episode 0. And we were like, oh, yeah, should we do this? Like, we would actually do it. And you're like, yeah. Actually, no, let's not do that. And I was like, okay. Completely threw that out of my mind. In which I was immediately like, and welcome to episode 0. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're doing this now. Okay, this is the thing. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's how this is running.
Alex, how you been, man? How was your week?
I am doing good. My week has been hectic but exciting. We've gotten a lot of really great content stuff for nerds everywhere, whether it's getting the announcement of Star Fox, seeing Daredevil, or just getting great comics this week. We had a lot of great stuff to talk about that I'm really hyped about. I also bought another small collection of comics that I was going through, and it's fun. It's been really fun. What about you, Robert? You've had a little bit of a special week because a really important thing happened on Tuesday. And I think, most of the audience knows already. But if y'all don't know, I would like to wish you congratulations and a happy launch day to Daredevil Season 2. Daredevil Born Again Season 2. That
round of applause, everyone, please.
Yes, it was also Robert's birthday on that day. How was that, Rob?
It was good. I don't really do a lot for my birthdays, so I just got to hang out with my wife. We went to go get dinner, came back home, we played some games and stuff like that. So most of my days is me editing stuff for work or for other stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Right back in there.
This man likes his wife.
But yeah, so it was a good week. Like you said, it's also very hectic. There was so much stuff that was coming in, and unfortunately, we weren't able to make Thursday this week. But man, it was very, very crazy with all the stuff that we got going. You can also see down below all of our topics. So please let us know what you think while we're going through all this sort of stuff. But Alex, what nerdy stuff did you get going on through your week?
Well, Robert, how about you go first?
I will go first. So obviously, of course, we're going to be talking about Daredevil and Superman, Spider-Man, but I was able to pull up some other comics that I picked up this week. Of course, starting off with Absolute Wonder Woman number 18. I'm loving this Witches arc that's going on right now with Zatanna going on. It's so good. I also picked up some Marvel comics. I think the rest of them are Marvel comics. I got Generation X 23, issue number 2 of that one. It's focusing on Laura Kinney. It's getting pretty good. It's only issue 2, but I'm kind of interested in enjoying it so far. Iron Man 3. I really enjoyed this issue. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Ultimate Endgame number 3. Man, I dislike this issue a lot. I cannot go into it too much because there is a spoiler for it. But I'm sure if you're involved in the Ultimate universe, can you hear my dog in the background, by the way?
Yeah, no, I can.
Okay, he's in his kennel.
I for a split second was like, is my kid downstairs having a conniption? And I was like, oh no, it's too high pitched to be my kid.
No, my dog is going. My wife just got home and they're in the kennel right now because they go crazy when I'm on stream. Then the Uncanny X-Men number 25. This arc is awesome. And oh my goodness. I guess my wife is like showing them. I'll let her know to let them out so they're not freaking out too much. Uncanny X-Men number 25. This arc has been really, really fun. And then Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon. I really, really like this new issues coming in. Is it only 5 issues? I've been hearing people saying that it is not like an actual like long run.
No, it's to my understanding, it's a short thing. Like you said, it's not like a really long thing. I think it's Kind of like we have like these Dungeons of Doom things and all that stuff, like, or the Will of Doom, which was like a single comic thing. We have a lot of these Doom adjacent things that are just going to be like really short, kind of diddly doop. So this is, I think, again, the same thing.
Yeah, Surfer Samurai saying Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon is peak. Yes, it is. Seeing Colton in there is awesome. But Alex, those are my big things that I picked up this week. What did you pick up?
Yeah, so first off, I just so that way you guys know, I was panicking because I was like, I can't pull chat up. I can't pull chat up because my narcissistic ass was looking up at the Alex Moon chat and it wasn't coming up. And I was like, what's going on? Anyway, so I also picked up Weapons of Armageddon. So super hyped about that. I've read it already. Great, absolutely fantastic. The New Avengers 10, this is the last issue of the New Avengers. Man, when I tell you I cracked this open, I was so excited. I've really been liking this run. It ended on an amazingly okay note. So it was hella okay. Didn't sour my my thoughts on the series, but definitely a little bit of like, okay, we ended. And then like Robert was saying, the big book. Or wait, did we talk about Superman and Spider-Man yet?
Not yet.
Right?
That's gonna be our first topic.
Okay, I'll wait for those. Also picked up Iron Man #3. Robert, I was surprised to hear that you really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it yet, but I'm really hoping this one kicks off. I was hoping this one would kind of do a little more than the last couple. Detective Comics 1107. Super hyped about that. Haven't read that one yet. And again, Punisher. Unfortunately, I haven't read that one yet, but those were my pickups for this week. And then again, like I said, also not new comics, but picked up a bunch of really cool vintage stuff this past week. So that was really fun.
Yes, you did. You showed me a couple of comics that you're going to be handing off over to me, and I'm very excited for all of them.
Yes, I literally picked up this box of comics in a deal, and I was like, Robert, I got some stuff, and I immediately grabbed the X-Men stuff to put in the Rob pile to go over with him, and he was like, I will take all of that. And I'm like, okay, perfect.
I will yoink that.
What was that?
I said I will yoink that.
I will yoink that. Robert,
Yep.
Please, we're on stream.
But yes, Alex, I want to go ahead and jump immediately into our first topic that we have today because we have a lot to talk about. So first one, obviously, Superman, Spider-Man, issue 1. Well, issue 1. The crossover came out today. I want to know which ones you picked up. I don't know if you have them or not with you, but I do.
Yes.
But I want to see which covers. There were over 30 different covers for this.
So many, bro.
So many covers.
So many. Was this more than the Batman one? Batman Deadpool?
Absolutely. I'll look it up right now just to double check. I'm already on
wild.
but
and I was a little and there's some great covers coming out for the next one. So before I get to the covers I got, we have so this was Superman, Spider-Man. So this is like the one led by DC, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna have Spider-Man, Superman, I believe next month, right?
That's correct. April.
And dude, there's a Frank Quietly one, if I remember correctly, that I am like, oh, that looks amazing. I splooge. But great covers, and even more great covers. But to show you what I got, so Superman, Spider-Man, obviously we got that. I picked up that A cover. And Robert, you picked up the A cover as well, yeah?
I did as well. So, I got it right here.
Hold them up. Look at that.
And they're kissing. Mwah.
Oh, no.
Mwah.
But so got that A cover. Looks absolutely fantastic. And guys, y'all know I had to do it. That foil of the A cover. Oh, beautiful. Look at that shit.
That's
Full
so
transparency.
Nice.
Full transparency. I'm probably not going to hold on to this. That's probably going in the shop this weekend, to be totally honest with you.
Sir.
And then this one, this was the one I was like, I need to get that. But
that's so nice, dude. I'm so jealous of it.
It's so good. Oh, it looks beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it is because of that blue, unless that's just part of the art, the only thing I didn't like about this cover is, and they were all like this in my shop, and I don't know what the hell that was, but like it's really like fading on the side right here. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh yeah,
Like it's fading hella right there. And I was like, I don't know, but they were all like that. And I was like, ew, let me go switch it out. And I was like, oh, they're all like this. So I don't know if that's part of how they were printed or the sweaty hands of the employee who put them out did that. I don't know. But either way, I was like, this is such a badass cover. I absolutely had to get it. Robert, what covers did you get?
I only picked up one additional cover.
Sorry, I was on my screen. I'm slightly behind, and I just see you like checking out yours. Like, is mine? Go ahead.
Yeah, I only picked up one other issue, one other variant, which was the cover O. This is the wraparound version. It's in the bag, so you can't see the background, but I loved it because it shows all the different villains and heroes and stuff like that. So I really loved it. We got Surfer Samurai in the chat saying that they picked up the Green Lantern issue 600, and they got the Jim Lee cover of Superman Spider-Man, which is really I know that was another one that was really popping off. Oh wow! So no, apparently Deadpool Batman has 35 variants, but I also believe that's because of the reprints. They added more afterwards, four more. So they had 31 plus the 4. So yeah, probably going to see around the same with the reprints for this.
Okay, gotcha.
But
Rob, now that we've kind of we've talked about it a bit, we're getting into what covers we bought. Obviously, this was the big book this week. This is the one everybody was really hyped about. Every time there's one of these crossover events or one-off really cool stories, the line at the LCS gets longer. Everyone and their mom is there. People are picking up multiple copies. And this was a big event, and a lot of people really showed up for this. What did you think of this crossover? What were your opinions on it? And then do you think this was, one, successful for Marvel and DC, but two, do you think this was better or on par or maybe not as good as the Batman Deadpool one we got last year?
Alex, I will say Superman Spider-Man on a scale of 1 to 10 is an 8.5 for me. I absolutely loved this. I know 8.5, it's like, oh my God, what? No, I think definitely there are some ways that there's some stories in here I did not love. But
you're wild.
For example, I did not like the Jimmy Olsen one. I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really care about Superboy Prime either. I was like, okay, whatever. But the other ones, the Punisher one and Power Girl was amazing. All the ones, I loved the Lois and Mary Jane one as well, where you get the random Gambit, the random Gambit cameo in there. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it is everything. It is the epitome of what Superman and Spider-Man is, because when you open up this book, it is just hope. You're opening this up and you're getting the hope, the love, the funniness of both of these characters, and man, it is worth the $7.99, and if you get the extra one, the $15 that you spend for an additional variant. I think that if they continue to do it with this, because I know apparently there's another one in talks. People are saying which one it's gonna be. If they go this way, keep printing them out. If it's anything like Batman Deadpool, don't. I did not like Batman Deadpool at all, and with this being printed out, it just shows me how much less I disliked, how much more I disliked those two than this one right here, because this is peak. Like, even this cover right here, this Jorge Jimenez cover, is just so amazing compared to the other ones. And it has a white background versus like the dynamic background of the other ones. But Alex, of course, I'm yapping over here. What did you think?
No, I agree with you, except for me, this is like a 9 out of 10 for me. I really liked it. I think like you said, maybe there are a couple things that I kind of, didn't jive with a bit. But honestly, I completely mirror your sentiments as far as this is so much better than the Deadpool Batman one. Like, it's not even a contest. And then I did see Surfer Samurai in the chat saying Spider-Man and Superman had a much better main story, but the side stories were better in the Batman one, which personally, I agree with your first sentiment. I think the main story for this one was so much better. So much better. It was so fun, like you said. But I think the big thing is it's just comic book fun. They weren't like, I feel like Batman and Deadpool almost like crumbled under the pressure of what this crossover was going to be. And this one was just like, hey, the story doesn't really matter. If it's a little goofy, who cares? Like, just put these guys in a room together, and we got to see them doing the actual thing that we love seeing these characters doing, which was saving people. A big portion of the page time in this was Superman and Spider-Man reacting to the events that are occurring. I don't want to say what's going on, but they're saving people.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that, and it's so good. And the backup stories, I think the only backup story that maybe, well, no, there was 2 of them, and I don't know if it's because they're going to continue them later, but like both the Superboy stories, I liked them. I really liked them. I didn't like they didn't have endings. Both of them kind of ended off on like, we're swinging at the camera, like, and it's like, oh, so we're not going to get an end to this. But I loved it. I thought it was really good. The art in the main story, absolutely unmatched. I think Jorge Jimenez is such a powerhouse after this Batman stuff that he's doing. Okay, I love my wife was saying she was home. He's such a powerhouse. The art is absolutely amazing. And I'll be honest, if one day for some reason Jorge Jimenez left DC to go do Spider-Man at Marvel, I wouldn't mind. He did so good
amazing.
in those characters. Oh, so great. But yeah, I mean, I could gush about it forever, but Superman, the Spider-Man one is so good. It gives me such high hopes for the next one. Because again, like you said, it's just, I think it's safe to say the Batman Deadpool one, which I think we're all excited about when it came out, it doesn't compare. It just doesn't. And I think also it's partially because who they put together. Batman and Deadpool, I'm a little bit like, why did we do that? Why didn't we do like Batman and Iron Man or something? Like, why didn't we
honestly even I was thinking about it. I was like, what could have been another good mix? Sorry, my camera's kind of weird. A good mix. I was like, oh, Batman Moon Knight could have also been really cool as well, because I mean, like, they're very similar.
That would have been really fun. Yeah, that would have been, and I think that's the thing. The thing that's perfect in this book is you put 2 characters by each other that don't necessarily are not on the same like power scale necessarily, but they're who they are as people. There's a Paul Kent, there's a Paul Kent and Jonathan Kent, or I'm sorry, there's a Paul Kent, Jonathan Kent. There's a Jonathan Kent and Uncle Ben story in here, and it was so good. It was so good. Brought a little bit of a twinkle to my eye when I was reading it. But it was great. I think overall, like you said, if this is the route they're going, putting these hopeful heroes next to each other and letting them do stuff and not letting who wrote the second one, the Deadpool Batman. Or Batman Deadpool?
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison with Dan Moore on art, right?
Correct.
Okay. As long as Dan Morrison doesn't come back and make the universes fuck again, like I'm cool with it. Like, I don't know why we felt like we had to do this crazy stuff when just give these guys a ground level story, save people. That's it.
Yeah.
But it was so good. I will disagree with you though on the Jimmy Olsen Carnage story. I thought that one was so fun.
It's fun. I was just like, eh. Oh, like, yeah.
I guess to me, and this is going to be my... Well, actually, I've read a few issues of the My Pal, or Jimmy Olsen's, or Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, and to me, it was like, oh, that's exactly the vibe we got there. So I dug it, but I can definitely see how maybe without context, it's a little eh.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it had that.
I loved it.
It had that Archie kind of vibe and stuff that I was kind of like, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was like, it's not my thing. So I was like, I'm not saying it's bad. It just definitely was. I was like, okay, like, that's kind of forgettable. I was like, there's some cool stuff in there. So Alex, before we move on to our next topic, I did want to ask you 2 more questions. 1, favorite story from this one right here, and then 2, what mashup are you looking forward to next? If you were Marvel offices, Marvel and DC, who are you pitching to have a crossover?
So one,
Captain America.
Hold up. My favorite story in this one, like if we're talking about outside the A story, like outside the main story, we're talking about the backup stories. Honestly, it's that Mary Jane and Lois Lane one. It was so good, and it's the follow-up story. It's like the very next one we get, and that was so good. It was written amazing. And it was Jim Lee on that one, right?
Jim Lee, and believe it or not, the person that wrote it, Tom King.
No way.
That was Tom King.
That's crazy because he hates women. No, I thought that one was so good. I thought that one was really good. For me, if I had to pick like a top 2, it's that one and the Uncle Ben and one with Paul Kent. That was so good. And then the second question was like, who would I pitch? it's a duo that you already know. You already know exactly what I'm gonna do. But Captain America, Wonder Woman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Captain America, Wonder Woman story in that first Batman book, and honestly, and I've said it since it came out, that's the best part of that book. It was so good, and in such few pages, it's written so well, and they're characters that you wouldn't think would, or maybe you would, but like to me, that would be my first go-to. Like I'd be like Captain America and Batman, or like Captain America and Captain Atom kind of thing. But Captain America and Wonder Woman have such similar values with how they treat people. They're the ones in both their universes that people look up to and feel like they can trust. And I think that story expanded upon more would be so cool. Would be so cool. Like I would even love do the Wonder Woman subplot where Steve Trevor lands in Themyscira, but just change it out for Steve Rogers. Like just do that, and I'd be down. But Robert, with that being said, for you, what was your favorite of the backup stories, and who would you pitch in the next for a crossover?
Yeah, before I jump into that, I did want to go ahead and jump into some stuff from the chat. Solarpunk saying, I thought the side stories had more substance than Batman Deadpool. Agree. As well as the Tim King story was actually half decent surprising. Yeah, definitely. When I was like going back and looking at who wrote what, and I was like, Tom King. Like how yeah, I was like, how did I don't I mean, of course the people like most known for What Woman and Tomorrow, right? But people are like, oh, he didn't really write that. I'm like, I don't really care. But I was like, this is. I agree. My favorite was the Mary Jane and Lois Lane one. It's just there's so much heart in it because obviously we see the star-studded cast of Superman and Spider-Man in the first issue of the first like story, and we always see them, but we never get to be really ground level following. One, the side characters, and two, the women. And so like they are really the heart of the hero themselves, because they say in there, it's like when they're having a bad day, like we are the ones that continue to lift up, as well as like it just having also showing them not be helpless at all. It was going out there and helping out the community as well. They are the reason and the very end why the Sentinel is being destroyed. So I really love that there's more emotional.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And to kind of bounce off that real quick, and it's funny that you mentioned that, like they're not just helpless, because literally in that story, no shade on Gwen Stacy, but they mention the damsel in distress that died, and they're showing that they aren't that, like, and that was really cool. There's part of me that's like, Tom King was seeing all the internet backlash and was like, no, I can write women. He was like, wait. Like, because it's so good. And Jim Lee on that art, oh god, it was so good. It was really neat to see that. Maybe Tom King isn't as bad as we all thought. Maybe. I mean, like R. Kelly, I still listen to Ignition. So anyway,
I think to pick like my own team or like whatever I would do for the next one, I've seen that the big one right now, everyone's saying is Captain America, Wonder Woman, which I agree. But I mean, obviously, you're gonna shell out for yours. I'm gonna shell out for mine. Give me like X-Men, Doom Patrol. Like I want like I want something that's a little bit more kind of out there.
Yeah.
I know another big one that people are pitching is X-Men and Teen Titans. And that would be really cool as well. But I think like Doom Patrol would be really cool, or like a Suicide Squad, like a versus sort of thing, like team versus team.
What sucks is that sounds like the perfect lineup for a backup story.
Yeah,
that is, it just does. To me, I don't think Marvel would go for it, but I love that idea. But I think you're right. I think Doom Patrol mixed with X-Men with like the weird power sets.
Yes. I think it would be a really funny thing to be like, oh, you do this, I do this, blah, 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 blah. That sort of interaction. But Alex, before we hop on to our next story, is there anything else that you want to wrap up about Superman, Spider-Man?
No, I think it's good. And I absolutely love these crossovers that they've been doing with Marvel and DC. Every time that they do well, every time people show up for them, it brings us one step closer to that Justice League Avengers movie that we want to have one day. Every time people support it, it brings us more. And it's such a cool, just honestly, every time these come out, like not only is it cool to see Superman and Spider-Man team up, but it's just such a cool kind of celebration of comic creators. We have all these all-star writers teaming up with these all-star artists and stuff. And, sometimes you get a Frank Miller in there that maybe isn't great. But either way, the point is, even if like you weren't the big fan of the Frank Miller stuff in the Batman one, it's still a celebration because Frank Miller's a part of it. It's still a celebration because we have Jim Lee a part of these things. We have one of the biggest artists in the industry right now, Jorge Jimenez, coming in and doing the art for this. It's just a celebration of the best talent that we have in the comic industry for these big two. So I really hope we keep seeing that.
Yeah. Just to wrap up on my thoughts over here, I really want to jump onto what Surfer Samurai is saying, that Marvel and DC crossovers are fun. Yeah, I think it's great that, of course, they are the two titans of the comic market, right? That they're always going to be seen as these competitors against each other. But I think, especially with, one, how crazy the world is right now, and then two, kind of like how scary being in comics is right now, that it is great to see these two titans still continue to support each other and make these stories that mean a lot to people, that get to the heart of, one, their characters, and to the heart of why we as comic readers really enjoy this medium overall, and to make sure that it doesn't die. Jumping from that immediately to another thing that I think we both very, very much enjoyed and came out on my birthday, we're jumping into Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Premiered, obviously, March 24th of this year. Alex, I know you and Solarpunk had a really great discussion earlier this week about it now, and I was putting some of my thoughts and stuff into there. Really excited about this conversation. But overall, episode 1, what did you think?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a great, return to form. This feels, let me put it this way. I think this is a much better episode 1 than season 1, personally, for me. I get we have such a big character defining thing that happens in that first episode of season 1, but in this episode, we get back to ground level fighting. We get back to the breaking of the arms, the new costume. It meshes so well, and from the get go, it feels like we're back. It feels like Netflix Daredevil to me. This feels the closest of Netflix Daredevil since season 3 of Daredevil. We had elements in season 1. This feels like we're going back. I'm super excited about it. And we also didn't get that, because the first season we had an opening where we had a lot of CGI mats swinging around. We had a lot of, that clunkiness that you could feel a little bit. You could tell a little bit that while this is great, it was the bookend, right? The start of the bookends. So this was really good. I really liked it. It's made me really excited for what we're doing going forward. Honestly, there's only one thing, and after me and Solarpunk had our conversation, there's one thing that I was literally I was going to bed after I was talking to Solarpunk that live, and I was like, all right, Daredevil was so good, and then I was right about to fall asleep, and I was like, but wait, and then something hit me, and we'll talk about it in a minute when we get to spoilers, and it is going to fuck me up if what I'm worried about is going to happen. But anyway, I liked it. I would give this first episode, for me, I'm going to say, I don't remember what I gave it the night of, but right now, I would say this is an 8.5 for me, almost a 9 for after sitting on it a bit. But what about you, Rob? What did you think of it? I know you had maybe a little bit lower of a rating when we spoke last, but you've marinated on it. You've thought about it. You being married to someone who is also visually impaired, I would assume,
yes.
because they picked you. But what did you think?
So I think my original rating overall, before I jump into it, was a 6.57, which of course, again, not bad. It's not crazy, oh my God, boo, this thing sucks or anything like that. It is okay, it's good. The more I've said on it, I think the more I am a little bit more solidified in that 7.5 range. Or,
okay.
Yeah, so I bumped up a little bit more the more I've started to think about it, where I'm okay, but overall, it's a great first start, but it does also feel man, and of course I said this and you had your reaction where I was it feels like an episode 6, an episode 5. It's kind of not necessarily the start of of, you know, this brand new arc or whatever. Like if I'm reading like Last Rites Daredevil, it feels like issue 2 and 4. Where I'm like, okay, like some stuff has been set up, because you jump into a relationship really early on, that I was like, okay, I guess this is how we're gonna deal with this. You know, spend less time on XYZ to get to like bigger stuff, I guess. I love a lot of the Wilson Fisks of it all. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we're going to get to in spoilers, that I really, really enjoyed, as well as Matthew Lillard just being amazing in the show so far. He's only on screen for like maybe 15 minutes, not even, I think like 10 minutes in this episode. I was about to
say, that guy's got maybe 6 minutes, I would say. But he uses it well.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see how he continues to take this character, because I've been watching some of the some of the interviews that he's done, and he's like figuring out stuff about the character now after the fact. He's like, oh, I was just doing this because X, Y, and Z. But overall, I liked it a lot. The action was fantastic. The suit looks great. Glad to see Karen back. But Alex, do you want to jump into spoilers?
Let's jump into spoilers, guys. Let's do it.
Throwing up the warning up here at the top. Spoilers for Daredevil Born Again. So if you have not seen episode 1, please jump out. We're talking, obviously, season 1, probably some of earlier Daredevil as well, but specifically episode 1 of season 2. So, Alex, first spoiler thought, for me at least, man, I really hate that they're skipping over the beginnings of the relationship with Karen and Matt. Not beginning, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going immediately into like, hey, we're dating.
I guess I hear you, because you were also saying that on the other live the other night. And I got to tell you, bro, and this goes in hand with a little bit of the thing I'm worried about that we'll get to in a little bit. I think that's par for the course, honestly. Like they've been doing that, whether it's, you know, skipping over their entire relationship in the Defenders. Because you remember, end of Daredevil season 2, he finally tells her he's Daredevil, and then in the middle of the Defenders, he's given up being Daredevil for her. They're halfway through their relationship. She's so worried about him because they've been like, they're used to skipping the relationship. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's because that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is the tension and the arguments they get into. It's not them being happy. But with that being said, I'm also just kind of like, how many times have we seen Daredevil, Matt and Karen together? I'm kind of like, maybe for people who just jumped on and Born Again, that might be a little annoying. But for me, I'm like, man, they did that partly in season 1, where it was like, do they like each other? In season 2, it was like between her and Elektra. Season 3, like they're back to maybe, rubbing hands and stuff. And, I don't know. For me, I'm like, we've done that. So I'm not terribly upset about it, but I can totally see where you're coming from. But because you would have rather have seen a little more of that falling back in love, maybe catching up, and because they are, to be fair, to your point, they are in very different parts of their life than they were previously.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because I mean, like when we think about it, the last episode of Born Again, they're like, it's like, oh hey, like you're back. And then this first episode is like, oh, hey, we're banging again. Which, I mean, I guess, like, there is that sort of trauma bonding sort of thing that could have happened off screen. I'm not even sure, like, how long the jump has been between the two. I think it's like a couple of months, right? That, like, Matt's been missing, quote unquote. But I would have loved to at least have, like, 1 to 2 episodes of, like, not necessarily will they, won't they, but seeing, like, that them reconciling or having some sort of, not necessarily spat, but like, hey, like you left, but you also left emotionally, kind of at each other, and then eventually fall into each other. At least an episode of that, and then start off the rest of the relationship. It did feel just weird, just being like, hey, yeah, they're banging again. Which, again, like you said, how many times have we seen Matt Murdock talking to someone or talking to Karen. But I think it's just kind of needed story-wise, at least in my opinion. But Alex, what is like one of your major things that you wanted to hit on from episode 1?
I think one of the big things for me is, one, I think the show is the opening of it, the visual style of it, the new ways that we're exploring Matt's like sonar sense and all that. It's so great. It looks amazing. All the characters I'm excited about. My one thing, this is, slightly part of my thing I'm going to get to in a little bit, but one thing that I did notice is I was like, oh, these writers that didn't write the first season fully, they're looking for a way to get rid of those characters they don't know what to do with. So we're writing off Cherry is what I'm getting. And then, what's going on with Matt's partner? She's relegated over here. We're getting rid of her because we don't know what to do with her. So it feels like the writers are kind of pulling a Ryan Johnson a little bit. And this could change. But I can't tell. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about this. It feels like they're doing a Ryan Johnson a little bit. And they are kind of like retroactively putting a character to the side a bit because they're like, we didn't want to do these characters. We wanted to stick with the original guys. And now we got to figure out what to do with these guys. Where, we're sending Rose to Canto Bight. Like, they don't know what to do with them. So that was a thing that I noticed. I really enjoyed that last fight scene with the heart stuff. And I know you didn't like it. You didn't like the bullseye of it all.
I like the fight scene. I loved everything about it. My thing was kind of like the Deus Ex Machina of just randomly like, because to me it's like, okay, I guess like, Bullseye's probably not fully there, especially after the stuff that happened at the end of the last season, right? Where like he sees that he shoots Matt and he's like, oh shit, like this wasn't my target here. So I can see that kind of like rattling him and making like him like start to like following Daredevil. I just didn't like that he wasn't established enough in the first episode to warrant him being the one that saves him. So like to me, I think it would have been a more interesting character choice of like, yes, Cherry is pulling out his gun. It's not a Cherry thing to do, but him knowing that like Matt would not kill these guys. Like his things out there begrudgingly is like he's having a heart attack and he's like, this might be the way I go out. At least I'm saving Matt. Like that would have been like something cool. Or we're establishing Karen is learning how to fight. Have like Karen get the shit beat out of her, but still like allowing enough of like before Matt's like cowl is coming off to come in and start beating the shit out of. So we see like a partnership starting to grow, one romantically and as a team, because that's the whole thing about this season is that they are building a team to take on Wilson Fisk. So I have no problem with Bullseye of like the whole Bullseye of it all. I'm glad that he's going to be, kind of a main part of the series. It's just I don't think that was one warranted to earned enough for him to be the one that saves Matt in that situation.
I hear you. I can see that. I can definitely see it. I guess, for me, I'm not as, like, I guess it's also Disney Plus brain a little bit because, like when you see 40 minutes roll by, you're like, okay, where's the stinger that's going to get me to stay till next week? And that was it. So to me, I'm like, okay, I don't think it would have hit as hard if it would have been like Cherry or somebody else. Like you got to have something big, but I can see that. I can totally see that. Robert, my thing that I keep kind of dancing around that I want to bring up is a thing that, we're going to see this upcoming week. We're getting 2 episodes of Born Again. So we're not just getting 1 on Tuesday this week. We're going to get 2. And I think I'll have a better idea of if I still feel this way. But something that I was going to bed and then I realized was I'm a little worried that we are potentially doing the same shit again. And it really hit me the other night. Because, like, I know I was like, it feels a little similar, but I really like the way it kicks off. But the whole, like, we took down Fisk's thing. Fisk is upset. Now we have to put him in court, Karen. Like, I'm like, we've done this every single fucking season. And I get it. That's Daredevil's thing. He's a lawyer and he's blind, so he bumps into walls. But, like, us doing it again and again, I'm just like, is that what we are doing again? Are we going to get to the end of towards the end of this season? And, like, because we've seen it in the trailer, Matt is in a courtroom at some point. Mm-hmm. Are we going to get to the end of this season and Matt is going to go into court, for White Tiger or somebody, or from whoever else they're going to be doing, or for Swordsman or whatever? That's what it seems like they're setting up, right? Mm-hmm. Like, are we going to do that again and we're going to get the Punisher thing all over again? Like, there's a little part of me that's like, I'm excited. This looks really good. But I do feel almost like, are we going to get this again? And is that really going to tell us that we may be done with Daredevil stories? Because maybe we've hit the point where what else do you do with him? You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's my thoughts. But I don't know. Did you feel like that at all in this episode?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I agree with that. That, it is kind of like, it seems the way that these Daredevil stories are going, it is like Wilson Fisk, something else. Hey, Wilson Fisk is back. Hey, something else. Wilson Fisk is back. And, I think I honestly think the worst thing about it, not the worst thing, but I think the thing that is bringing Wilson Fisk back is just Vincent D'Onofrio, man. Like, he is so good.
Yeah.
He is Wilson Fisk. Like, we say that with like RDJ is Iron Man, Chris Evans is Captain America, Vincent D'Onofrio is Kingpin, and him being that electric pull for people to come watch this show with how great he is in that role. Unfortunately, I do believe that is the reason why we keep getting so much Kingpin. And so I do think we're going to continue to see that. There is some really cool things that I don't know if they leaked or they posted on there, but we saw instances of other character posters being posted saying like, hey, this is what's kind of to look forward to. And one of them is Ava, White Tiger. Like, we are going to see basically a new person come in under the White Tiger mantle. And I think that would be a really cool way for maybe this to go, where maybe Matt is now in the teacher role, being like, hey, like, this is how Stick did things with me, and this is how I want to bring up my own, maybe, I don't want to say junior defenders, or maybe it's Heroes for Hire or something like that. I don't know. Some other, like, street level team that is like, hey,
Order of the Phoenix type shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go, but I do feel the same sort of way that you were, where I'm like, man, I really hope this is not going to go the exact same way that the other seasons have gone, because at the end of the day, it's like, we love these characters, and if we're exhausting at this point, when are they going to get killed off, unfortunately, or when are they going to retire, or whatever Marvel does nowadays? Because, I mean, we thought Steve Rogers was retired, but he's back. So, you know.
Or when are they going to be relegated to just side characters? You know what I mean? Like, we've kind of done that with Punisher. We've turned the corner where he got 2 seasons and then he's in Born Again. You know what I mean? He's in Spider-Man. He's getting his own special. Like, and I think maybe we're going to find that that's what we're going to have to do with some of these other characters. But who knows? Maybe they're going to do something drastically different that'll be really exciting. But Rob, with all that being said, do you have any closing thoughts on this opening episode of Daredevil Born Again?
No, I mean, overall, I really, really enjoyed it, and it does make me really excited for what's to come, especially, we're going to see Jessica Jones, as well as, like I said, White Tiger in this as well, a new version of that. So I think I'm really excited for the future of this show. I'm very cautiously optimistic. That's what I'll say. I'm very cautiously optimistic about what's going to be going on. What about yourself, Alex? You got any other final thoughts going on?
No, I think, like you said, I'm excited to see what's going on. I know I'm being a little bit of a Debbie Downer with some of my concerns, but I think it's just because, I want to be realistic. I want to set my expectations. I don't want to be super hyped on something and not consider maybe this isn't all I want it to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But with that being said, before we hop into our last topic, I did want to address Surfer Samurai here in the chat. What are your guys' main thoughts on Weapons of Armageddon? I think it could use more action. That's it. Rob, I don't know about you, but I'm really liking Weapons of Armageddon. I'm not too worried about there being a lack of action for me. I think that we're still we're only in the second issue, right? So I feel like we're heading towards a pretty explosive fight, literally, if this last issue is anything to go by. I will concede that there wasn't like really any action in this second issue. But I'm also not someone like I am someone who, when I pick up a vintage comic, I love when I see like bubbles everywhere. Like, I love this. I want to read the story. I'm down with the conversations back and forth. So it's just, for me, I'm not someone who, craves more and more action. And I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying for me, I feel like there was enough to get me through it. But Rob, what about you?
No, I agree 100%. This last issue did feel like a middle one, but like a middle issue where we're getting a little bit more, not necessarily exposition, but like we're getting to the climax of this story. And I think it was perfect. I love that because this is not necessarily just a Wolverine story. Now we have, Colton. We have the story of the mutant that's being hunted down as well, Tyler. We're seeing like what's right, or I might be mixing up X23.
No, Tyler's the mutant.
Okay, cool.
No, Tyler's the mutant, Colton, Captain America, and then we have Nuke.
Nuke, yes. Because honestly, Generation X23 kind of has the same story going on right now, side by side. So I was like, I need to make sure that's going on. But yes, so it's really exciting seeing Logan kind of take a little bit more of a chill step back, tracker, sort of like having someone else kind of track for him, and he's kind of there as like a muscle just in case. But I do think this next issue for sure is going to be a big butting heads of, you have that Logan is the one that brought Nuke into the program, as well as you see that like Wolverine is really pushing on Colton, being like, hey, you got the stars and stripes, you got the shield, you got everything, you're not touching the shield. What did you do? Like, why are you not feeling like Captain America? And the more Colton that I'm getting, the more I'm like, give me a 5-issue series with him. Like, I want to see him overall. I think he's very interesting. But yes, I think the stakes. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I think the most interesting thing about Colton is he's one of the few, besides maybe during one of Sam Wilson's story arcs, he's one of the few people that take on that mantle that at this point doesn't want to be Captain America. Every Captain America story is about someone dealing with the weight of being Captain America and then ultimately having to give it up for one reason or another. And he's someone who's like, I don't fucking want it. Like, that's not me. So I find that so interesting.
Yeah. And I'm also the same boat as you with like, I love reading my old vintage comics that like, especially like the one I've been reading right now is The Last Rites, Daredevil Last Rites. In an issue 2, I think it was either issue 2 or issue 1 of this arc. It's basically just Daredevil and Typhoid Mary having a conversation, trying to not get to know each other, but like figure out how to survive next to each other. And the resolution that it has doesn't come from conflict. It comes from like internal conflict within Daredevil himself, sending off Typhoid Mary to, a mental institution to get better. Because he's like, we can't just keep fighting like this. So I'm a kind of person, I don't necessarily need action in my comic books because action and conflict can happen in multiple different ways. But of course, I'm excited to see, David Colton reluctantly pick up that shield and see Logan in action in this new issue. So love that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Rob, to lead us into our last topic of tonight, we are going back to the world of Hogwarts, a little bit out of the superhero realm for us, I will admit, but it is still a geek topic for a very geek day. And Rob, I actually had been holding off watching this. I just watched it today, finally, with the missus. She's a big Harry Potter person. I want to start with you, Rob. Did you read the books?
I have read
the movies.
So I've watched the movies and I've read up to Order of the Phoenix. So my wife and I did this thing where I'm a big Percy Jackson fan and she's a big Harry Potter fan. So we swapped the books, and so she's been reading Percy Jackson and I've been reading Harry Potter. And so yeah, I've read this book and up to like book number 5 or 6. I think it's 6. Alex,
what did you think
of this trailer? I think don't get me wrong, it looks great. I'm like, it looks good. I mean, it does look kind of like copy and paste of the original one. I love Nick Frost. I don't know. I don't see the point of having this show. It literally is just like, how can we get J.K. Rowling more money? Of course, I don't like the woman. I think she's an awful person. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff she says about the trans community as a kind of an overall sort of thing. But overall, it looks just the same, but not with the flair that Chris Columbus had for the first book, for the first movie. It just like it doesn't look lifeless. Like it does have like the feel of Harry Potter, but it's like, who is this for? I don't understand what this movie is for besides just money, more and more money. I can just continue to go on and on, but Alex, what did you think about it?
Look, Robert, I'm going to tell you, first off, I think we're all in agreement. Nobody likes J.K. Rowling. Nobody is going to sit here and defend her. But I'm on the complete opposite boat of you. I fucking love this. It looks so cool. It looks so.
Interesting.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm really hype about it. And a lot of people have said, like, why do we need a remake? Guys, this isn't a remake. This is a Philosopher's Stone, not the Sorcerer's Stone. Pay attention. No. But really, it looks so good. It looks so good. I'm loving all the actors in here. And I know, you and other people have pointed out, like, it looks the same. Like, it looks very similar, a similar visual flair. And my thing is, like, it fucking has to. They've built a $14 million park off this shit. It's got to look similar. It's got to look the same, because they're not going to redo the whole goddamn park. And not only that, they're filming it in castles. And I'm sorry, guys, all castles look the same. They're all castles. So I don't know why you different. Like, oh no, the uniforms all look the same. Like, it's the fucking uniform. What do you mean? It's like every Spider-Man's got eyes. The fuck, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I got really excited about it, and I think we're reintroducing Harry Potter to a new generation that maybe didn't watch the movies, that maybe didn't maybe jive with them for whatever reason, because there are things in those movies, and everybody's admitted it. My wife's someone who's read the book, so I've picked her brain about it. I don't read. I have things to do. I have relations with women. But so, I haven't read the books. I'm too busy reading comic books like a fucking stud. So, but I asked her about it, and there's a lot of things in the books that seems like they're left out, and I'm sure, Robert, you could tell me the same thing. And it looks like they're doing more. They have more time with a series like that, where they can explore everything. And now this is how kids are watching stuff, like that's how it is. We're not a movie place anymore, or a movie world anymore. We're much more a series world, serialized television. And that's just the case. I think it's great. I think we're getting, and for me, you're absolutely right about, like, who's this for? What's this for? Is to get more money? It is, because if not, there's only so long the Disney adults are going to keep going to Hogwarts World or Harry Potter World. Like, you got to get the youngins in too now. So I don't know. I like it. I'm excited about it. I don't mind it. Everybody looks great. My only concern is that, I do agree with some people where I am worried about the implications of Snape's actor being black. Not because he's a black individual. I am all for that. Y'all know that. It's my big soapbox thing I'm always on. It's more so because that implies heavy racism from Harry Potter's dad. That's what I'm worried about. But besides that, I don't know. I think I'm on the opposite spectrum of you. 10 out of 10 trailer. I'm hype. I'm here for it. I just don't like that the Sorting Hat is black. Never mind. I'm going to get canceled for that. I don't like that they've changed the color of the Sorting Hat. I like him the way he used to look before. But that's really it. But
I think
my
my
husbands didn't read.
Yeah. I think my sort of, like, overall thing, right, with this is that, how do I explain it? It feels.
What did you think of it? What did you think of it, Joe, while Robert's saying it? Sorry.
Yes. It feels like a step back. Like, overall, it feels like they got so scared with doing these Fantastic Beast movies, which they haven't finished yet, by the way, that they were like, what can we do to continue to make more money? Let's go back and just redo the stuff. Like, they don't want to tread on the same territory. It's very much the same Star Wars thing that I have, right? We're not moving past the middle part between the sequels and the original series, right? They're kind of stuck in that era. And it feels like they're afraid to make a story about, oh my goodness, what is it? What are they called? The Aurors, right? Or go backwards and talk about the rise of Voldemort himself. Like, that's a big thing, right? Why do we have to go back and redo this exact same 7 books all over again? I don't think, to, like, your point of, like, hey, there's a whole world built around this. I don't think people need to be reintroduced to that world. I think, like, hey, if anything, it's like the Lord of the Rings. You're going to go back and you're going to watch the originals and continue to go. Same thing with Star Wars. They're going to continue to make sequels, but they're not going to remake the original trilogy, because that's the original trilogy. And everything that's going to be built off of that is going to be, like, inspired by the world that they have, the Galaxy's Edge at Star Wars at Disneyland. So I don't know. Joe says that she hasn't watched the trailer yet, but the shots look so good. I think the trailer looks good. Like I said, I think everything about this looks good. It looks the same. I just think that, like, rather than going back and redoing the same thing, nut up and do something different. Like, that's just my thing. Like, be brave, make a different choice.
I hear you, but at the same time, I'm ready to argue. So I agree with Alex, though. I hope they put more details in that the movie's left out. Thank you. Look at that. Your wife likes me more. But no, like, my thing is that, like, I totally get what you're saying about moving beyond. But, like, Star Wars is different. Star Wars didn't start out as books that have a beginning, middle, end in a series. Star Wars is a world. You know what I mean? Like, Dune is a book, and they did it in the 80s. And then they had to redo it. They did in the 80s. Okay. And maybe these whippersnappers think that the ones that came out 25 years ago, Robert,
the cult classics that built an entire park. I was like, oh yeah, Robert, where's the Dune world?
Okay, but my point is, like they got to retell it at some point, and it's 25 years later. They can retell it, bro. Like, it's like back when those movies released for home, it said, like when you were watching it at home, it said, now for our feature presentation. Because it was on a fucking videotape, Robert! So now we're doing it so these kids can get in and watch Harry Potter. Like, to me, it makes all the sense. It's been 25 years, Robert. It's been 25 years.
So Disney, you hear this, go ahead. Forget the sound stages. We're remaking the original Star Wars trilogies because, you know, the old ones are bad. So we're just going to go ahead and do that.
No, that's totally different. That's fuck you. No, but Star Wars wasn't a book series that was like, here are your books. There you go. Game of Thrones is a book series. They're going to redo that in a couple years. Maybe when Fat Man writes the last book. I don't fucking know. But, like, that makes sense to me.
I don't know.
Book series.
So, I don't know, because, I mean, like, no matter what, to me, it just has nothing to do with... I understand that there's still some context within the books that they will bring into this, sure. I guarantee you, they're not gonna. No one gives a shit about Peeves the Poltergeist. I'm sorry, babe. No one gives a shit about Peeves the Poltergeist. No one cares.
They're already showing us... They're already showing us Harry getting bullied, which to my understanding is in the books. That's not in the movies. We don't see him in regular ass school with Dudley's gang until like fucking Deathly Hallows or whatever the fuck it is.
We don't need it. We get it. You're a dork. We don't get it. We don't get it. We don't get.
Dude, Robert, you're wild, bro. It's fine. They have to reboot it. They have to show. It's a new audience. We're getting a new Moana. Like, the kids who saw the first one have grown out of it. They got to make the new one for the kids.
No, they don't have to make it for the kids. They're making it for money. They're making it for money, Alex. They're making it for money.
They got to make it for money. Because if they don't keep making it for money, who's going to go buy the fucking overpriced ones?
So I think this is where we're going to agree to disagree. And honestly, I can't wait for next week when very large announcement right now. We are going to be having Solar Punk on the show to talk about some really, really cool stuff. And you know what? I want to get Solar Punk's opinion. So Solar Punk, do not put this in the chat. You're going to come on next week, and this is going to be the first thing we're talking about. We're going to be talking about if this is needed or not. Yes, Solar Punk can't wait. My wife, Jo, says, you know what? They're right. You're such a rage baiter. I'm not a rage baiter. I'm just right.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Alex, this has been great. We should do this again.
He's a rage baiter and also a master one. But yes, we should do this again. Every Thursday.
Except for this week, and then
except this week. For the rest of our lives, or until you give me a fucking aneurysm. Whichever one comes first.
And we'll see y'all guys next week. See you guys.
Bye.